By the end of this video, Photoshop will never bulldoze your mind anymore. Okay, this video is meant for those that are to start or have interest in learning Photoshop. In brief, it's a quick start in Photoshop for beginners. Okay, therefore, the first question is, what's Photoshop? Photoshop is a program to edit and create images made of pixels. Now, when we talk of pixels, what are pixels? Pixels, those are small boxes with one color. For example, if we have our image, now we'll bring it and we drag it to Photoshop. If you zoom in, you will see these tiny boxes. So those tiny boxes are pixels. When combined together, they form an image visible. So we have the home screen. As you see, everything starts from the home. You have your phone, it has home. Whatever you are doing, you end up going back to the home. So what does home do, or what's the function of the home? Home shows recent projects worked on. So if you come here on this button, this is the home button. If you press it, this is how the home screen looks like. It shows recent projects worked on. As you see, also this image I've just opened 1 minute ago. It shows the minutes and also the work that I've done at that particular time. So this is the home. At the home, we have the recent projects. We have create, new. What are we going to create? We have open. What does it open? Open meaning you are going to open something. A document, a file, anything. Create meaning what you want is not already created, so you are going to create a new thing. So we have the Photoshop icon. This is a layout. If you want to see like in this layout, and if you want to see big thumbnails, you can switch to this. And here, if you have your project name that you worked on, you can just search it instead of looking for it. So before we continue, there are 3 major things in a workspace. So first, what is a workspace? If you press on the Photoshop icon, this is a workplace. It's blank, but it's a workplace. So what are the 3 major things in a workplace? In a workplace, we have tools, which are here. We have panels, which are found here. These are panels, as you see. These are all panels. These are called panels. These are tools. And the third one, we have the canvas. So the canvas is found here. How do you create a canvas? Come to File, New. You come to New Document. You choose your preferred preset. For example, these are pixels. The measurements, you choose your desire, the resolutions. And for this moment, we are going to just to continue because this is just an example. So you may choose this A4 size, create. So this is our canvas, and these are our 3 major things that a workplace consists of. We have the tools, which are here. We have the panels, and we also have the canvas. This is the canvas. As you know, like if you do art, uh, you have your canvas, you have the tools used to paint on the canvas, yeah, and you may have the layout where that canvas is placed. So another thing to talk about here on the workspace, we have the status bar. So what is the status bar and where is it found? So you see here, like here down from this part here, this is what is called, this is what a status bar is. So what is its function? It gives status of the image. So for example, let's first close this. If we open this image, you see it's telling us that this image, it's like its length is 540 pixels and its height is 720 pixels. So some of the function of this status bar, if you come here and you right click, and you left click on this button, it shows you different options of the importance of that status bar. If you come to document profile, it shows you that this is an RGB image or document. If you come to document size, it shows you its size. If you come to current tool, it tells you what the tool that you are using at that particular time. So here I'm using the move tool, that's why it's showing move tool. If I press on the crop tool, it will bring crop tool. If I press on magic eraser, so this is the status bar. It shows the status of what you're doing, or the status of an image or file or image that you're working on. So next, we have the menu bar. What is a menu bar? A menu bar is the master menu of Photoshop. This is the menu bar. On the menu bar, we have file, edit, image, layer, type. So all of this is what consists in a menu bar. So what does it do? Controls how Photoshop looks, works, carries out different functions. By that, what does it mean? If you come to Window, for example, you come to Workspace, you select Paint, it will automatically display the paint tools or options that you can be in need of if you want to carry out painting. For example, if you close this, come create new file, you choose our preset. If you open our canvas, it will display all tools needed in painting. If you come back on Workspace, if you select Essentials, and most of here, it will go back to its default outcome, or it will come out to, in its default. So if you come to Essentials, if you come to Workplace and you select Essentials, for example, it will display its default. Essentials, it's the default for Photoshop when you open it at the first time. So therefore, a menu bar controls how Photoshop looks, works, and carries out different functions. Next is the options bar. What is the options bar? It's below the menu bar. So here is the menu bar, and what's below the menu bar, it's what's called the options bar. Now what does it do? Shows setup, or like shows setup options of the tools. So if you choose a different tool here, its options are displayed here. Like if you press on the move tool, its options will be displayed here. If you press on the selection tool, its options will be displayed here. And that happens to all the tools that you select here. And one thing to point, like one point to put down, you have to be, in your mind there has to be the OCS. What do I mean by OCS? OCS, always when learning a new software, first master how to open, close, and save a file. In brief, we shall call it OCS. Whenever you're learning a new program, in case it's Photoshop, that's we are doing now, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, and After Effects, even if Blender, first learn how to open, close, and save a file. Next, we are going to see how to open a file. So let's go back to the default. This is how Photoshop looks like if you open it. These are my recent projects, so don't bother about them. To create a new, to open a new file, you come to open, so meaning there is a file that exists in your computer. So if you want to open back that file, come to open, you look for a location where your file is located. So when you open your file, you press on the file, you go to open. So that's how we open a file. And second, if you want to open a file, there are different options. Someone may want to open a file through a step-by-step. And if you're a pro, like how, like you know guys, how pro people do it, how do pro people do it? You come to their file. So whenever you have your file saved in the computer, it will display the Photoshop icon. For example, this. If you double click on it, it will open automatically. Yeah. And another way to open a file, you can just get it, a file that you want to open, hold, left click and hold on your file, come to Photoshop and drag it right here. When you drag it, it will open. So those are 3 different ways how to open a file. Okay. So next, how to create a new file. As you hear, how to create, I want to create a file. You want to start out your new project. How do you want to create it? So we have create new. You can come here, another option, you can come to our menu bar, come to file, new. It opens out the presets. Here you choose your desired preset, you set all here, and so we shall continue. Also, we shall have a another video showing what are these measurements, their meaning, sizes, and like sort of. For here, we are going to just move on since we are just starting, we are beginners. Yeah. You choose your desired presets. In this case, we are going to leave under RGB. Come to create. So here you have created your new file. And from here, you can do all your stuffs. See? You can do all your stuffs that you want. On the canvas. Next, how to save a file. This is our file. This is our file that we have created. So after working out, how do we save our file? You come to File, Save. In this case, we have to save. We have a save as. So first we are going to press on save. If you press on save, it will display this dialog box. You come to save as, like what type of file you want to save. So we have these different file format options. In my case, I'm going to choose PSD. There is Photoshop. There is a JPEG for the image. If you want to save your file as an image, you can press here. You select your destination or the file location where you want to save your work. Let's say on the desktop, and then name it. Let's name it Canvas, and then save. That's how you save an image. So on this matter, therefore, on this matter, we have two options, and we are going to look into these details. If you come back to Save As, it also displays these formats. So there are other scenarios where we are going to save a file and it does not display all the file formats as you have seen. Let's have a quick refresher on what we have seen in today's tutorial. First, we said what is Photoshop as a Photoshop in a program. Photoshop is a program to edit and create images made of pixels. What are pixels? Pixels, those are small boxes with one color, and when combined together form an image full of colors. And the second, we said there are three major things in a workplace. And how do we find our workplace? If you come to this Photoshop icon, you press on it, it will display the workspace. And the three major things in a workplace, we have the tools, which are here. We have the panel, which is here. This is the panels. And we have the canvas. And when you open the workspace, there is no canvas. How do we create the canvas? You come to File, New, and choose your desired presets. Here, you can even name your preset as the canvas. After choosing your desired presets, you come to Create. So this is our canvas, and the canvas contains all the content created or designed. The third thing that we have talked about, you have the menu bar. As you go to the restaurant, they give you the menu and you choose your own desire, what you want to eat and what you don't want. So In the Photoshop program, the menu bar is found right here up. The menu bar consists of File, Edit, Image. And to master it very well is the master menu of Photoshop, which controls how Photoshop looks, works, and carries out different functions. Next, we talked about the options bar, and the options bar is found below the menu bar. This is our menu bar right here, and this is the options bar. And what does the options bar do? Shows set up options of the tools. These are our tools right here. Any tool you press on, its options will be displayed right here. Any tool, even if we press on the type tool, press on the shape tool, you press on the lasso tool, you press on the move tool, its options will be displayed right here in the options bar. And I told you to remember this before starting to learn a new program, the OCS. What is the OCS? OCS is the open, close, and save file. In brief, in order to learn a new program, first you have to learn how to open, close, and save a file. Therefore, straight away we went on how to open a file, and we said to open a file, if you open your Photoshop program, we have open, which is right here. If not, you can come back to the menu bar, you come to open. Let's use here. If you come to open, you choose your file. Let's say it's here. You come to open. If you open it, it will display your file. So they say open a file because it already exists in your computer. But if it does not exist, therefore we say we are going to create a new file. And again, we said there are several ways to open a file. If you don't use open, you can use drag, which is like this. Just come here and drag into your program right here. You can use that drag. If not, you can come back to your project. You right click, open with Photoshop. If not, you can double click on your file as long as it has this icon. It is already in your computer, that's why we are opening it. If you don't have any file, you just want to create a file, you come to create new, or you come to your menu bar, file, and press new. Let's use here. If you use here, we are creating a new file. So you choose your canvas preferred settings and you say create. So here we have created our new file. After doing all over our stuff, we would want to save. How do we save? Come to file, we have save. If you come to save, you can save your file right here. These are the formats you can use to save your file, and we shall have a video of the meaning of each format included right here. For instance, for me here, we are going to use the JPEG format used for images. You don't forget to name your file. We shall name this canvas and choose your location where you want to save your file. Then you press save. So what we wanted to save is already exists in the computer. You can name this anything else then click on save and press OK. Therefore, our file is saved. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to your other friends also having interest in learning Photoshop. Let's meet up in the next video. In the next video, we are going to see how to use Photoshop tools in details. The move tool, the brush tool, the text tool, the zoom tool. For example, we shall have a look at the Photoshop panel in detail, layers panel, undo or redo the canvas, canvas tip for social media, transform, how to master Photoshop in brief. Thanks for watching.